When it comes to what's happening in Wayne County and the North Carolina area, look no further than Taylor House Publishing. If you have a story that needs to be told, please contact us via email at taylorhousepublishing@gmail.com.
All right, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Richard Taylor, and I'm coming back with another video. This video that you're about to see deals with a lot of situations that we've heard in Wayne County concerning the sheriff department, corruption in the prosecutorial office, and mistreatment and injustice towards minorities in this city. Now, this case deals with a local bail bondsman, Miss Rosa Mesa. Miss Rosa Mesa is currently facing kidnapping and felonious restraint charges from 2015. Now, I'm going to show you some court documents about that case, but I'm also going to tell you how that case came about and also some backstory about why Miss Meza is possibly engaged in a battle of corruption against her by the Wayne County Sheriff's Office as well as the court system. Now, I became aware of this situation by an anonymous post that was sent to me that was posted on Facebook, and I'm going to show it to you. This post was actually posted in a group, and as you see, the message is in Spanish. So, of course, I'm not very fluent in Spanish. So I had to Google some of the contents of this post, which was posted in like a public group or something. But somebody sent it to me. And this deals with the individual who made this post talking about Miss Meza, how she kidnapped, one of the people that she got out on bail. How she mistreats clients, how she has threatened DAs, and, that she has just basically abused her position as a bail bondsman. Now, of course, when I saw this, I reached out to Miss Meza, and I got some information from her. She talked with me briefly, but also she told me some other things that she may be willing to talk about later concerning corruption in the Wayne County. So we hope we'll be able to get more information. But long story short, I'm going to give you why Miss Mesa is facing these charges. As you see here, she was arrested in 2015, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 2015. September 17th, 2015, on the charges of kidnapping and felonious restraint. Now, second degree kidnapping to be exact. So, according to Miss Mesa and also these court documents that I want to show you, there was a particular client that she had. And this client you see here, her name is Jessica Sanchez. Now, Ms. Sanchez was arrested for some crime. Her bond was $15,000. And she got arrested on, if I'm not mistaken, about September the 10th or September the 11th. Now, when she was arrested, she employed Ms. Meza as her bond agent. Now, when you get arrested, they give you a bond. And you have to get a bail bondsman to come get you out. And so she employed Miss Meza as her, and her name is Elisa Sanchez. There you see it, Miss Elisa Sanchez. So she got her out of jail, and when you sign out of jail, you have to give some information regarding where you stay, the contents of your address, job, and, you have to also sometimes have a co-signer. So Ms. Sanchez gave Ms. Rosa some information, And the next day, if I'm not mistaken, Miss Meza found out that that information was incorrect. So it was at that point she went to retrieve Miss Sanchez, and she took her to her office, according to Miss Meza, and asked her, I guess, why did she lie? I can take you to jail right now. Nevertheless, there was a conversation that happened, and she then released Miss Sanchez out of her custody. She didn't take her to jail, which according to these rights of a bail bondsman, when somebody gives you false information, you are able to, take them back to jail. But evidently she didn't do that. She had mercy on the lady. And then the lady was released. Now, somehow, some way, one of Miss Sanchez's friends said that she had been kidnapped, and I guess the SWAT team or something came to a restaurant in Mount Olive. And at the restaurant, they came in with guns blazing, thinking that Miss Sanchez was being held hostage there or something or another. But Miss Sanchez was not there. Long story short, Miss Meza, because I think she knew the owners of that restaurant, took out a complaint, filed a formal complaint against the sheriff department for coming in there waving guns in a public area. So that complaint she filed, and Miss Meza said it was about 5 or 6 days after the complaint that she filed against the sheriff department. The sheriff department came back and arrested her and her partner, and I think her name is Linda Ramirez. I'm not. You'll see that document, for second-degree kidnapping as well as felonious restraint. And they bailed out. And, this case, once again, happened in 2015. Now, here it is 9 years later, and Miss Meza is still facing that charge. Now, a year after she was arrested, she had to go before the North Carolina Department of Insurance. Now, that is the department that handles all bail bondsmen and their licenses. So because she had this charge against her, she had to actually go before the Department of Insurance and have also a trial, seeing if she would keep her license. And so I obtained this document from Miss Meza's lawyer that states that the claims of the Wayne County Department did not hold merit to kidnapping, because as a bondsman, she had that right to retrieve Miss Sanchez if she put false information on the bond report. And as you see here, that they denied the allegations that she would be held liable for losing her license. You can read, it said, in the words of the presiding judge, one of the witnesses are so unbelievable. He informed counsel and I that he saw no point in asking more questions of him. After I made my motion to dismiss, he called opposing counsel and I to the bench and recommended that the Department of Insurance strongly consider settling the matter before he ruled. He essentially stated he did not believe the witnesses and also did not agree with their interpretation of the law regarding recapturing defendants. So what this letter basically says is, when Miss Meza went before the Department of Insurance, they found no merit in the claims of kidnapping. However, Wayne County Sheriff Office continued to prosecute this case and yet continue to prosecute this case. Now, as you see here, Miss Meza, she was indicted on the charges of second-degree kidnapping, felonious restraint, and conspiracy to commit kidnapping on August the 7th of last year. Now that is almost 8 years later after the alleged kidnapping that she was indicted. Now, also, it was told to me that she received an extra charge, which is the conspiracy to commit kidnapping, because of, I guess, the district attorney's office propensity to stack charges. And by stacking charges, meaning they will give you so many charges, and then, you will plead to one and they'll drop the rest to ensure convictions. However, as you see from this document that was filed by her lawyer, Mr. Worth Haycock, he filed a motion for a probable cause hearing. Now, a probable cause hearing is when they make sure that the prosecutors have enough evidence to bring the individual to trial. Now, this right here was filed in 2015, September, right after this alleged kidnapping. As you see in paragraph 3 and 4, it said the alleged date of the offense is September the 10th. The alleged victim is named Alicia Sanchez. The defendant in the case is the bondsperson who bonded Alicia Sanchez out on a $15,000 secure bond. The victim failed to notify the defendant that she had changed her residential address, and the bondsman had the right to arrest the victim and surrender her to the magistrate office. The alleged victim signed an affidavit admitting that she failed to notify her bondsman that she had changed her address. Paragraph 6 stated, furthermore, the victim never reported that she was kidnapped, nor does she maintain that she had ever been kidnapped. The charges brought against the defendant are misleading, false, and malicious. The charges were not brought by the alleged victim, but by the Mount Olive Police Department 6 days after the incident. Now, mind you, once again, Ms. Meza found a complaint against the Mount Olive Police Department, which is in Wayne County. And so it was only after she filed that complaint 6 days later, then she was arrested. Paragraph 8 states there is no basis and no proof for the charges brought, nor does probable cause exist for these pending charges to survive a probable cause hearing. He said the defendant's case has not received a probable cause hearing within the time allowed by statute, and the defendant has not waived said hearing. Without waiver of probable cause, which the defendant has not waived by statute, a hearing must be held within 15 days of the defendant's first appearance. Said first appearance was on or about 17th, and no such September the 17th, and no such hearing has been had of today. So basically, what the lawyer is saying 8 years ago, or 9 years ago now, that you guys supposed to have a probable cause hearing in a certain amount of time. According to Ms. Meza, that probable cause hearing never happened, and she was indicted once again 8 years later for that charge. Now, we all know about the retaliatory nature of some police officers and also some prosecutorial offices. So Ms. Mesa believes that because she filed the complaint against the Mount Olive Police Department, that is why the charges were brought forth. Now, once again, she claims that the victim has never admitted or stated that she had been kidnapped. It was only at the behest of the Mount Olive Police Department that these charges were filed. But there's something deeper to this as well. Ms. Mesa informed me that in about 2010 or 2011, when she was working for a lawyer, she would have various persons come into this office. Now, of course, she was of Hispanic, or she is of Hispanic descent. So a lot of the people whom came into that office for legal services were of Hispanic descent. So she said that, during that time, she had a lot of people who were arrested by the Wayne County Sheriff Office, who said that when they were arrested, the amount of contraband that they may have had on them was different than what the police reported. Or, the police would take money from them, but the money reported would be less than the money that the individuals actually had. Or she said that, defendants and people will come in complaining that Wayne County Sheriff's Department actually planted evidence on them, And so, of course, we know about the corruption that has been constantly unfolding. I mean, daily, I get calls daily of this corruption of, the court system here. So we know that this is not far-fetched, especially during that time. And so Ms. Mesa said that she set up a meeting with the SBI, the FBI, the Wayne County District Attorney, her attorney, and also present at this meeting was the then Superior Court Judge, Mr. Arnold Jones, and we all know about the scandal that occurred with him during that time. She set up this meeting where she informed them of said incidents. Now, she said that, of course, nothing ever came up about that, but she says that she wants to talk more about that in depth at a later date. But nevertheless, of course, she's probably, still trying to figure out what's going to happen with this case. But nevertheless, that is another reason why she feels that the Wayne County Sheriff Department levied those charges against her. Now, another incident that just happened, if I'm not mistaken, that she was in court, and I think this was early this year. She was in court to support another individual who had a case and who was the victim of a case. And it was at that time that there was a text message that was allegedly sent by Ms. Meza to one of her former associates, asking, if there was anything that they could find on one of the assistant district attorneys. Now, I guess she meant, was there anything that they could find was of possible corruption? Because, of course, we know that, there's a lot of corruption that goes on here. So it was at that time that the individual who she sent the text to stated or inferred that Ms. Meza was attempting to threaten one of the district attorneys. Now, it was at that point, like a day later, and I think this was this modification, as you see, happened sometime earlier this year, where the day after she went to court, she was called up and they told her that, she is not to have her phone in the courthouse anytime that she is in the courthouse, in the Wayne County Courthouse. And also it was stated that they actually seized her phone. They seized her phone, and now it is currently at the FBI and SBI office to, I guess, investigate what she knows about possible corruption in the Wayne County court system and also the Wayne County Deputy's Office. So now, right now, she is currently waiting, for the results of her phone. And actually, there was a search warrant issued for her phone. Now, all of these things are public record. I got some of these things from the courthouse. But there was a warrant issued by, I guess, the State Bureau of Investigation of Wayne County to seize her phone for, I guess, information that she may or may have not doing this case, or may information that she may have, considering the corruption that we all see. So, Ms. Meza, once again, there's so many levels to this. There's some more information to this case, but I did want to bring this up because she feels that she is being unlawfully prosecuted. Once again, this case is a case where she's a bondswoman and she went to apprehend a suspect that lied on the bond application, which, if you look at this statute, that she does have that right to do. So it all goes back, in my opinion, to her willingness to speak out against some of the things that has been happening in Wayne County. Now, also, and this is more corrupt, or this has more to do with everything. She states that she had a relationship, and by relationship I mean, I guess a business relationship with the now missing district attorney Mike Ricks. Now, at the time of his disappearance, if I'm not mistaken, he was actually handling this case. And she also told me that she had met with Ricks, and he had confirmed some of the things that she had alleged in, her complaint against certain members of Wayne County Sheriff Department, committing acts against minorities, taking drugs and, not reporting them, taking money and not reporting it, and outright planting drugs on people. And it was only a day or two after she had met with him and he had confirmed some of those things that Mike Ricks disappeared, and he has yet to be found. Now, if you remember last year or earlier this year, I did a story on Mike Ricks, how he disappeared and he was found in the Wayne County Jail on a weekend in a room behind the courthouse. And, according to the information that I received, that he actually admitted to Miss Meza that he did not lock himself in the courthouse. So this case right here, we're going to keep an eye on it. There's a lot of different levels to this case. There's a lot of, I guess, retaliation or corruption because of, what Miss Mesa might know about certain members of law enforcement, the DA, and other things like that. So currently she is still going back and forth to court. As you see from her lawyer's statement, that there is no basis for these charges. And once again, you have to ask yourself this, why did they wait 8 years to indict her on these charges? I think they know these charges are frivolous. The Department of Insurance has already confirmed that these charges are frivolous. So now they are trying to indict her after 7 years of, the Department of Insurance clearing her of those things. She is still a practicing bondsman. She still has her business, and I think she's still working with those of, Hispanic descent. But, but there's evidently, some people or someone who, tries to defame her character, and hopefully she'll come and, she'll come. And actually, I think that there is a statement in her bond modification said that she's prohibited from discussing the court proceedings on the internet. So I don't think she'll be able to come and talk about it personally. But this is I don't know, once again, that they're saying her bond could be revoked if she brings a phone into the courthouse. Why would, I can bring a phone into the courthouse and I'm a regular citizen. Why wouldn't a bondswoman be able to bring her phone into the courthouse? But more importantly, why did you seize her phone and, want to investigate her phone? So there's a lot of questions. I hope that you follow this video because there's a lot more information. I might have to do a part 2. But I just wanted to give you an overview on some of the possible more corruption, especially between, minorities. When police are arresting Hispanics, many of them don't speak the language. Many of them, may not have, their domestic status in order. So they are, more likely to be taken advantage of by law enforcement. And so it's a circumstance where, they need an advocate. And of course, there's a lot of Hispanic members in this community, and, a lot of them evidently have complained about some of the treatment that they have received from the Wayne County Sheriff Department. But nevertheless, we're going to keep an eye on this. If you have any more information concerning this and other, corruption, you can call me at 919-587-7782. My name is Richard Taylor, or you can email me at taylorpublishinghouse@gmail.com. Thank y'all for tuning in. Peace and love.